Hello, everyone. So today we'll be going through the member journey and the Mxp funnel. Again, if you are going through this content, I trust that you have gone through the role of talent management and the Mxp product concepts, right? And you've actually taken both quizzes, and that is how you are here right now. So as I said, we're going through the member journey and the Mxp funnel. Kind reminder to keep in mind that Mxp means membership experience. Remember that we'll be using the word Mxp a lot. So kindly keep that in mind. So just a minute. Let me get this sorted. I'm having issues with getting the screen to go to the next page. I keep having this issue. Okay, yeah, now we are good to go. So quick disclaimer that there's a lot of new concepts we'll be going through. So if you feel the need to go back again and go through this again, have no worry. And quick disclaimer that this may also be long. The video will be a bit longer than the rest because the content is also way more. So here is what the member journey and funnel looks like, right? So I'll be going through explaining what each stage involves. So first of all, what is the need for member journey and funnel? So this can be really critical when you're doing recruitment, right? So for example, if I know that I want to recruit 40 new members, then it'll help me plan backwards and see how many people then do I need to attract that I can get to 40 new members. When a member is, so this a member who started experience translates to a realization, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just start from the beginning. So the first point you see a lead. So a lead are all the people that we attract to actually join ISEC through the posters that we send, through the videos that we send, through any marketing means that we use to attract members to join ISEC. So immediately they sign up and they're like, okay, these people have interested me. Let's join this organization and see what they are about. Then they move to an applicant, right? And the reason you see this, you see that funnel keeps reducing. It's just following the shape of a funnel because it translates to the reality that we have, and you'll see that at the end. So because not even that you attract will actually want to apply. And then now we get the applicants. Next, we go to the accepted. So what does it mean for someone to be accepted? Someone that's accepted is one that has gone through the interview and passed it. Then this member becomes an accepted in our database. Then the member then becomes, and remember you see the dot that says rejected because a member can become rejected and then they go back and start the funnel again, meaning they sign up again to become an ISEC member, maybe a few months later once you open up recruitment. Next, we have the approved. Approved is a member who's started, not officially started the experience, but they've started the experience, they passed the interview, in this stage, we have onboarding being done, we have the job description being translated, we just have the member is, induction is done, transition is done, and once all of this are done, the member then becomes realized. Realization is when a member officially begins work, right? And as you can see, even in the approved and in the realized, the member can be, for example, terminated or they break the experience through resignation. Now, when a member finishes the experience, this can be a short-term experience, short-term meaning like an organizing committee of a conference, long-term being, for example, a term as LCVP, as MCVP. So once they are done with the experience, they are labeled as a finished. And then after that, they fill the NPS, fill the final leadership development assessment test. And then at the complete stage, they can either choose to advance. For example, I finish my LCVP term, then choose to advance to become MCVP. In that case, let's just follow the arrow from advance. It means I become a lead for this new role as MCVP. Let's say I'm applying for MCVP OGX. Then now I'm a lead for that role, and I just go through the exact same process I explained, but now in a different context. Another member can choose, okay, I came to gain 1, 2, 3 from ISEC and actually gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from ISEC. So I feel that it's a good time enough to end my journey with ISEC. And in that case, they become an alumni. So that is a general understanding of how the Mxp funnel looks like from a practical point of view. So the member journey, so now this here describes the member journey. Here we went through the member funnel. And as I said, you utilize this for recruitment, right? You work from the realization and then using past data, emphasis on past data so that we can also make sure that as we are doing recruitments, we are constantly logging this data somewhere so that in the future, other LCVPs that come after us will have this data so that for them doing planning and figuring out what is the conversion rate from lead to applicant to accepted will actually be from historical data and not from guessing, right? Yeah, so I reminder to you to always log your data, always update your database. So here is the member funnel, but here is the member journey, right? It's divided into 3 parts. First is transition, then it's transformation, then advancement. Short, you can use the TTA just as a reminder. So what does transition involve, right? So transition starts, so the first stage of transition is, it says transition and then hashtag approved. So what does that exactly mean? So we'll go through that and see. So these are things already explained. So first, here we see the first process of transition, which is talent planning. So as we explained, lead is a number of people that intend to apply for a specific position or apply for ISEC. The way you have friends who are like, I really want to apply for ISEC, like that is a lead. They show interest for the work. We know where they are to attract and to nurture them. And in some cases, we have basic info of them, which I gave the example of your friend. So the next point is brand attraction. So first we started with talent planning. With that, the lead is involved. Next, we've gone to brand attraction. So applicant is a number of people who officially submit the application for a desired position. For example, friend X may have had so much interest in joining ISEC, but then again, they have so many co-curricular activities that they can't actually apply. So they don't move from a lead to an applicant. They are not converted really. So for this point, we need to have a strategy for brand attraction, right? We need to ensure that these people that we know that want to join ISEC, we need to find them and have nurturing activities in order to convert them from a lead to an official applicant. This can involve activities like maybe having an info session, right? That people that want to join ISEC but don't understand it enough to apply actually move from a lead to an applicant. So the next point is the selection and allocation, which is whose transition, which is measured using the accepted, right, of the funnel. So accepted is a number of people who get accepted for the position or role that they apply for. They're called accepted when they go through the selection process and meet the criteria we set. So as I said, for example, if the criteria is that you attend the interview and you actually pass the said interview, then once an applicant passes the selection process that we have set, then they become accepted. Next, we have within transition is onboarding and capacity building. And under this is related to the approval in the Mxp funnel. So what does it mean to be approved? So the approval is when a member is ready to start the realization, right? So in this case, we have onboarding done, transition done, initial capacity building done, and the personal development path is done, right? And you can see here, this number could tell if we fulfill ideal HR for the organization or not. We need to deliver the Mxp standards, membership experience standards. Again, we will go through. Next is actually the MX standard. So do not worry if you're wondering what exactly an MX standard is. But at the end of the day, those are the 4 key things that need to be done at the approval stage. So just to end with the transition phase, with this phase, you should aim for efficiency of the process. The more optimized it is, the more the right talent you can recruit, the more time and effort you can focus on actually developing your membership experience. So we go through the second one, which is transformation. So within transformation, the first key, we have 3 key processes: engagement, performance, and development. So transformation starts after approval and during the realization phase, right? As you can see, like all of the 3 key steps in transformation are all done under the realization phase of a member's journey. So realization, as we said before, is the number of members starting the member experience, right? It's counted by the first day of work, like the first day I officially begin my role as MCV PTM and OD. Not when I was having transition, not when I was filling my initial personal development tool with my direct team leader. Immediately I start my first day of work. That's when I become realized. So now during the realization, the member goes through engagement, performance, and development. They happen all at once and they keep repeating. So the way we've labeled them 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, it doesn't mean that they happen in a particular order, right? They all happen concurrently. For example, I am engaged by maybe the career fair that is upcoming. My performance is improving through starting new programs. I am developing myself by applying for PASI roles, by applying for other roles, maybe within the GSC, within the regional office, you get? So all of these 3 can happen at the same time. But failure in delivering a good engagement, performance support, and development path for members could lead to break over realization, which will tell us about retention rate and the talent pipeline of the entity. Remember with the Mxp funnel, I don't know if you can see it in your head, with the realization, there was a dotted line that was a terminated realization. Like maybe if the member wasn't engaged enough, development paths for them were not given to them sufficiently, then they could resign. They feel that what they came to get from ISEC, they actually have not been getting. So for transformation phase, we should aim for leadership development. And as talent management, this is where we come in very crucially. Our role is to ensure that we actually develop leaders. The effectiveness of each Mxp standards you deliver for members will decide the leadership quality developed or not, right? So that's why we're using the Mxp funnel to track our transition from one level to another. And then we use the Mxp standards now during the transformation phase. So it starts a bit in the transition phase with the approval, but most of them are delivered during the transformation phase. And this will help us to define a better membership quality for all our members. So finally, in the third stage, we have advancement. So what does this stage include? This encompasses the finished and complete portions of the Mxp funnel. So finished is the number of members who finish the minimum duration of the experience. So we said there are 3 types of experiences. There's a short-term experience, which is 3 to 4 months. With, for example, when you apply to be part of an organizing committee. Medium experience or mid-term experience of 6 months, for example, applying to be part of the entity support team. And the long-term experience, which is 12 months, for example, like a team member experience within a portfolio, or a team leader or an LCBP. If they break a realization or take a gap in the realization, we will count them as terminated. So for example, if a member resigns, we don't count them as a finished experience. We count them as a terminated experience. Don't worry if you're wondering how you'll be able to track that. At the end of our course content, we'll go through some of the tools that we use so that you can be able to track them in your own portfolio. In your own LCs. So next for 3.2, we have completed experience and developed leadership. So for completed, remember we had at the complete stage, we had it breaking into 2, either advancement or alumni. So for advancement, so maybe after completing my experience, if the member wants to stay and to keep contributing to ISEC, they become an advanced. So advanced is counted when they go back to the talent pool of ISEC. I give the example where I finish my time as LCV PTM and decide to apply for MCV PTM or even MCVP OGX, you know. So I will go back to the talent pipeline and predict a lead in the next cycle of allocation, this cycle being the MC application process. And then an alumni, is a member who, after completing the experience, the member no longer wants to stay in ISEC in order to head to another development outside the organization. Then they become an alumni. So to end this, the advancement stage should aim for retention rate and turnover of membership pipeline. Let's aim for members not just completing the experiences and moving to alumni. Let's engage members more. Let's tell them about other opportunities within ISEC that they can apply for so that we have a more turnover of the member pipeline. So the number of lead in upcoming recruitment will be decided based on how many members decided to stay with ISEC. So we have come to the end of the topic today, which was the member journey and the Mxp funnel. Thank you so much for being attentive. And next, we will be going through the Mxp standards, the membership experience standards. So again, remember to take the quiz, and I will see you for the next topic. Thank you.